Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And some very interesting breaking news. England have officially added coaches and confirmed coaching roles to their setup ahead of the 2024 Six Nations, which gets underway very soon, actually. It does start in February, the first games on the first weekend of February. I think it's actually the 2nd of February that it actually does kick off. The Friday France versus Ireland game. I mean, what a game that is to kick off the Six Nations. It's going to be very interesting Six Nations. Obviously, your two favorites being Ireland and France. Be very interested to see if England could sort of step up at the back of a decent World Cup and sort of how Steve Borthwick's new sort of reign continues with a couple of new coaches. Obviously, a very young Welsh side that we can expect to see, a Scottish side, which, yeah, we never kind of know what Scotland's side really does rock up, doesn't it? And then an Italian side, which is ever improving, but was a bit disappointing during the World Cup. But in terms of the England comparing the coaches, a lot of South Africans have a lot of talk a little bit about Felix Jones, the fact that he is joined up and his role has been confirmed. So before we talk about exactly what the roles are, as well as what the conversations are, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so it was confirmed today that first of all, New Zealand coach Andrew Strawbridge will join as a consultant for the first 4 weeks, and he was actually part of the All Black setup as a skills consultant as well. And so he's going to be joining up with England for the fourth on a consultancy role, and he will then be departing after the first sort of 4 weeks. He's been involved in the coaching the Chiefs, for example, before, obviously with New Zealand. He's also worked with Manu Samoa, for example, so he's been around the block as well. So I think that'll be a big, nice move for him. We'll new for England, ready to have him in, even for a short-term sort of stint. Otherwise, Kevin Sinfield, who's been an assistant coach with Steve Borthwick for quite a long time, it has been confirmed that he will be stepping down from his role with England after the outgoing tour, where they're going to Japan and New Zealand in the mid-year. He also is going to be changing from defense and will be in charge of skills and kickers. This has meant that it has been confirmed that Felix Jones will be responsible for England's defense. And Borthwick talked about Felix Jones saying, "I'm tremendously excited to start working with Felix, who is a coach with an incredible reputation and with vast experience in international rugby. With his background in Irish rugby and his wealth of knowledge operating in the Southern Hemisphere, he will bring a different dimension to the coaching team." Right, now all of a sudden the talk is, will Felix Jones be implementing the Jacques Nienaber, defensive system into England? Will he be able to take all the lessons he's learned from being involved in the Springboks the last 4 years, basically 4 or 5 years, and be able to sort of translate that into the England setup? And a lot of people now saying that, for example, they don't know how to beat the Springboks, and maybe if they can implement the Springbok defensive system, which has won them 2 World Cups, this could be sort of the turning point that'll see England become a force to be reckoned with once again. Now, let's talk about that a little bit. First of all, I think Felix is a great coach. I think that he's very much been behind the scenes, not really been in front of the media a lot. For example, we haven't really sort of been able to get to know exactly what his role is. But when you hear the players speak about him, you hear the coach speak about him, there's no doubt that first of all he's someone who really understands the game at a very intricate level. I think that his time with the Springboks has really made him understand the people aspect as well. It's one thing to understand how rugby works. It's another thing to understand how the players work, as humans are more than just rugby players, and how to then get the best out of them. I think that's probably the lesson he'll take the most out of working with the Springboks. And obviously he's now worked with Jacques Nienaber and Rassie Erasmus for a few years, so he'll definitely have that kind of experience. Now the question is, can they then implement the Springbok style of rugby? It's never that easy, is it? Because games, parts of your game are at a certain point isolated, but also so intricately tied to each other. So, you can't just go and say, right, we want to attack like the All Blacks, defend like the Springboks, kick like the French, and, and scramble more like a different country. All these things are intrinsically linked, so your defensive system will be in direct coordination with your attacking system. So it's never as simple as just, using a blueprint and going, right, cool, we're going to defend like this, and then we'll just attack like this. It's so much more complicated than that. So we will not be seeing a carbon copy of the Springbok defensive system with England. Yes, there might be aspects of it. I mean, the modern defense is very sort of rush defense based, for example. The Springboks are so good at that, and I do think that Felix Jones will definitely lean on that kind of concept. But he's going to have to adapt that to the current England system and the way that Steve Borthwick wants to play the game. So it's definitely not as simple as, oh, because Felix Jones there, now we're going to see a repeat of the Springboks. But it will be very interesting to see how he does implement aspects of what he's learned at during his time as a coach down here with the Springboks. But yeah, what do you think? Do you think that Felix Jones is going to sort of revolutionize the defense? Do you think it could be a bit of a missing piece of the puzzle as England try to get back to being contenders for Six Nations, contenders for World Cups? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.